What's up? Welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the things that I learned growing my Instagram page to over 100,000 followers. So stay tuned. Alright guys, welcome to this video. I'm excited and a little nervous to be diving into this topic of the things that I learned about growing my following to 100,000 followers on Instagram. And I have a feeling probably some of the things you might know, but some of the things you might not. And so it's a little vulnerable, a little bit scary for me to share these things, but I'm also really excited to just kind of open you up into the behind the scenes of what it looks like growing your page to 100,000 followers on Instagram, and maybe some things that you might not have known in the process. But first, if this is our first time hanging out here on YouTube, let me introduce myself. My name is Jamie Dana and I am a hairstylist, but I also help more hairstylists grow their businesses using Instagram and using it as a tool to not only grow their business behind the chair, but also have a career and life that they absolutely love. And so I've been a hairstylist for over 10 years, but now I'm full-time in education, helping more hairstylists grow their businesses through their Instagram and also through tons of hair techniques that I share here on my YouTube channel. So if you haven't already hit the subscribe button, make sure to go do that right now, because I'm going to be sharing actually lots of videos all about how to grow on Instagram in the next couple weeks, next upcoming videos. And I've also shared tons of amazing technique videos that you definitely don't want to miss. So hit that subscribe button because we got a lot of amazing content coming to you every single week. So let's back up. I've actually been on Instagram for quite a while now, since 2013, but I actually started my hair business account back in June of 2014. And the weird thing is, as I was going through my Instagram, literally scrolling all the way to the bottom to see what the date was, I knew it was around 2014, I knew it was around June, but I'm actually filming this exactly to the day 5 years after I started my Instagram. So kind of random, did not intend for that to be why I'm filming this video, but literally the day I'm filming this is 5 years from the day of when I actually started my hair Instagram account. So kind of ironic, but also I think a little magical at the same time. So obviously when I started out on Instagram, I had 0 followers like every single other person. And so I always hate those videos where they're like, I went from 0 to 100,000. I'm like, well, yeah, everybody started at 0, so that's dumb. But anyways, I started at 0 in June 2014, and I slowly started to just kind of grow my Instagram. At the time, I was working at a salon, I was renting a station there, and I was using Instagram to grow my business behind the chair. And ultimately, I knew that I probably wanted to go into education of some sort. I didn't know what that looked like. I didn't know if that looked like me working for a company, me doing it independent. And at the time, independent education was something that was exploding, and everybody and their mother, it seemed like, was going on Instagram, trying to promote their classes, going from salon to teach balayage and braiding classes, and this independent education movement was exploding. And so I knew that there was an opportunity there for me to become an educator and really kind of make my mark in the hair industry. But again, I really had no followers. I didn't know what I was doing. And so I just started to use Instagram to kind of experiment and to kind of learn about the platform and to learn about marketing and growing myself as not only an educator, but as a personal brand. So fast forward to 2 years later, that's when I hit 10,000 followers on Instagram. And at the time, there was no swipe up feature. There was nothing exciting about hitting 10,000. It just, you got a K next to your name. So that was the most exciting thing. But that was in April of 2016. And I remember that because that's actually when I released my hashtag workbook. And if any of you guys have ever downloaded it, I've had that for over 3 years now, which is so crazy. But it's a free guidebook on how to use hashtags. If you guys want to get it, I linked it down below just so that you guys can check it out. Totally free. Everything you need to know about hashtags for hairstylists, you can get that there. But I released that 3 years ago in April of 2016. So almost 2 years after I had launched my hair Instagram, I had finally hit 10,000 followers. And so it didn't happen overnight, and in fact, hitting 10,000 followers was something that took quite a bit of time. I think a lot of times back in the day, it was so easy to grow on Instagram. People would seriously grow to 50 to 100 to 60,000 followers in a matter of months, because back then it was just a lot easier to grow. Nowadays, it's not. And even for me, I didn't grow quickly. I didn't go viral overnight. I slowly worked at it and learned how to market myself and learned how to brand myself and grow and create different types of content so that I stood out from everybody else. And that's when I hit 10,000 followers. So then about in January 2018, I hit 50,000 Instagram followers, which is, to me was kind of another monumental mark on the follower count. And so it literally took me from April 2016 to January 2018, almost a year and a half, almost 2 years later, to hit 50,000 Instagram followers. And one thing I will say, transparency-wise, it definitely becomes a little bit easier to grow after you hit 10,000 followers. I don't know if there's like this weird mental thing. When people look at your number, they see like, oh, they have a K next to their name, they must be worthy of following. I don't think it has anything to do with that, but I do think that there's something that when you click on somebody's page, if they have a lot of followers, you're like, oh, there's that social proof that they have followers, and so chances are other people like following them. I probably will like following them too. They must be creating content that's good and valuable, and people continue to follow them. So I do think that there is something to be said for that, that after you do hit that 10,000 follower mark, there is something to be said of that social proof. So January 2018, I'm at 50,000 followers, and later that year, in November 2018, so about 11 months later, I finally hit 100,000 followers on Instagram. And so in this video, I just kind of wanted to break down exactly how I did that. Obviously, I can't share all the things because this video would end up being days long, but I'm going to share with you kind of the huge pivotal moments that helped me grow and the big things that helped my number increase. But then I'm also going to share with you guys some lessons of things that I learned after I hit 100,000 followers. And one last thing I want to mention is, as I'm recording this video, I'm now sitting at about 143,000 Instagram followers. So depending when you're watching this, that's where I'm sitting at right now as I'm recording this. And so it just gives you a little bit of perspective. It is currently June 2019. So from November 2018 to June 2019, I've grown just about 40,000 followers. So you guys can kind of get a timeline there. And I want to dive into what are the things that I think help grow that number on a significant level really quickly. So the number one thing that I think helped was videos. I know for a fact doing videos and creating content that people saw in video form helped grow my followers by an astronomical amount. So I've had videos that have done really well. I've had videos do just okay, but typically most of my videos have done really well. And the reason why is I have studied what goes into making a viral video. And so I've had videos where I've gained 800, 900, 1,000, even up to 2,000 or 3,000 Instagram followers from one video. So most Instagram posts, you might gain 1, 2, 3 people, new followers, and even then, that's actually not really likely that you're gonna gain a ton of followers from one post. Even at where I'm sitting at 143,000 Instagram followers, most of my posts gain maybe like 10, 20, sometimes 30, sometimes 50 if it's like a really viral type of post, type of followers. Like I'm not gaining thousands of followers from every single post. But my videos, those are the ones that have done amazingly and have really helped bring in a lot of new followers for my account. So that year where I went from 50,000 to 100,000, I was posting videos at least once a week on my Instagram. Now, personally for me, I've slowed down a little bit just because of time and things have come up, and I honestly don't really care about growing my followers anymore. I care about connecting with my audience, and we'll totally talk about that in another video. But to me, I'm not trying to like get to some number. I'm not trying to like gain a ton of followers. To me, I want to gain the right people. And so I haven't been doing a ton of videos. I want to. It just has been kind of a time thing, totally being honest and transparent with you guys. but videos was something that really helped me grow and grow quickly. And in fact, I've seen quite a few other Instagrammers or influencers or other people in the hair industry grow really fast also because of videos. I mean, I've literally seen somebody go from 20,000 followers to 120,000 followers in a short amount of time because they're posting video content on the regular. Now, every video you post, is it gonna go viral? Is it gonna be amazing? Not necessarily, but the thing is, every time you're creating a video, you're learning something new. And then when you do have that video that does really well, it's gonna be one of those things that you're like, okay, how do I duplicate that formula for the next time? And yes, video content takes more time. I'm fully aware of that. But if you're really trying to grow your Instagram following, I think it's one of those things that it's totally worth it. All right, on to the second thing that I think helped grow my Instagram following really fast was Instagram ads. Now, I'm only sharing this because I want to be transparent with you guys. Instagram ads have helped my follower count grow. But I'm not running Instagram ads to try to get more followers. There is actually a deeper reason of why I run Instagram ads. So if you've been following me for any period of time, I have a lot of free resources. I have a free hashtag workbook, I have a free Instagram content planner, I have a free New Year guidebook, goals setting workbook, and I will link all of those down below if you want to grab any of those. And so I occasionally run Instagram ads to help promote those free resources that I have to add people to my email list. So growing my email list is something that is really important to me so that I can communicate with my audience not only on Instagram, also through my emails, but also through YouTube. And so I'm trying to create this, funnel here of where I'm getting in new people to my email list. So I do run Instagram ads to promote those free resources. And a couple times a year, I also host a free online Instagram class. And so I promote that through Instagram ads to help get new people to find my page. And so I'm not buying Instagram ads to get followers or get likes or to get engagement. It's honestly to promote the free resources that I've provided and to just let people know about them. But one thing I will say with Instagram ads is I have studied Instagram ads for the past 4 years. So this isn't something that I just opened up my Instagram ad or opened up my app and just started to promote posts. That's not how I do it. I actually have this whole system behind the scenes that helps me run my Instagram ads. So word to the wise, I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing Instagram ads unless you learn a little bit more about what goes into them, how to do them properly, because with Instagram and Facebook owns Instagram, they're connected with their ad platform. And if you give them money to spend, they will spend it. And so if you don't know what you're doing or you're not targeting the right audience or you're not targeting the right people, chances are you're not gonna see the results that I have seen because, like I said, I've studied it and I actually have a whole team behind the scenes that runs my ads for me. That's what they specialize in. And so I wanted to include this in the video just to be transparent because, like I said, Instagram ads have dramatically increased my following, but it's because I'm targeting the right people, speaking directly to them, and I'm not targeting them to get me to follow me. I'm targeting them to promote something that is free resource and valuable content. And because they see that valuable content, they're like, hey, this girl's amazing and I want to follow her. So it's kind of an indirect thing. Yes, I grow my following because of that, but it's not only because of that, if that makes sense. And the third thing that has really helped grow my following in a short amount of time is creating content that not only resonates really deeply with my audience, but also creating content that they want to share. So I've done this in my posts and in my captions. Sometimes I'll write a caption and a ton of people tag their friends, or I ask them to tag their friends and they want to share it with their coworkers, their friends, or other hairstylists. And it's because not only did I write a caption that really resonated with them, but they want to share it with others because they want to make sure that their friends are hearing this information too. So creating content that really resonates, but also creating things that people just want to share. So I've done Instagram story templates where people have shared it on their stories. I've created things that create this kind of viralocity. I don't think that's a word, but we'll use it, that make people want to share my content for me. So anytime, like I said, I've released those free resources, my hashtag workbook, my New Year's guidebook, and my content planner, I include photos for people to share it on their page, because chances are people want to share about it. And so that's been content that people have wanted to share. So creating content that people want to share with their friends is really, really huge, because when a friend refers you to something, you're like, oh my gosh, this must be amazing because my friend told me about it. So it really creates that deep connection ultimately right away with them. And people like to follow that because they already see something that they resonate with, and they see the valuable content already incorporated in them. And so yeah, people just want to follow. And a fourth kind of bonus tip of what has really grown my following is knowing my audience and speaking directly to them. So I've kind of talked about this in every single point of knowing what my audience wants to see, and that's been really, really key. So I'm definitely like an Instagram nerd when it comes to learning stats and learning numbers. And so for me, I really love to figure out exactly what makes my audience tick and what kind of content they want to see more of. And so that's been something that has not only really helped my follower grow, but my connection with my audience grow even deeper. And I mentioned this earlier that I'm not necessarily trying to grow my following anymore. I'm trying to actually establish a deeper connection with the people who already follow me. And like I said, we'll talk about this in another video, but I really want to establish that deep, deep connection with the people who follow me on Instagram, here on YouTube, and just the people who are part of my general audience. I really want to create content that they love, that speaks to them, and something that's actually really going to help them. So one little side note that I want to make mention of before I go on to the lessons of things that have helped me is I've learned a lot of this over the years, and I actually have an online program called Oh Hot Gram that teaches other hairstylists exactly how to do all the things that I just shared: how to do videos, how to find your audience, how to speak to them, how to create content that they love, that it resonates with them, and that causes them to want to share it. And the doors are actually closed right now. We only open them a couple times a year, but if you want to get on the wait list, we're going to be opening them in just a couple weeks. So you can go to ohhotgram.com. I actually linked it down here below as well. Get on the wait list, and if you're on the wait list, we're actually going to be sending you something a little bit special, a little extra bonus for people who join from the wait list. So if you're thinking about growing your business with Instagram, if you've been thinking about this type of content in specifics, especially if you're a hairstylist, this is going to be something that you don't want to miss. So like I said, we only open it a couple times a year. It's not always available. So make sure that you get on the wait list by going to ohhotgram.com, click that link below. And like I said, there's gonna be some little special goodies that I send out to people on the wait list. All right, so let's get to the lessons that I learned after hitting 100,000 followers on Instagram. So the first one is nothing dramatic changed. Nothing happened overnight, and nothing magical happened once I hit 100,000 followers on Instagram. In fact, no one even noticed. Now, of course, I noticed because I was watching, but only one of my friends actually noticed that I hit 100,000 followers on Instagram. Other than that, everybody else just went on with their life. In fact, nobody really even cared that I hit 100,000 followers. And that's totally fine. I didn't expect them to, but nothing like magically happened. I didn't all of a sudden get all these brands knocking down my door to work with me. Didn't all of a sudden have tons of clients wanting to book with me, and like all these things happen because I hit 100,000. Like, that just isn't reality. In fact, there's nothing special that happens when you hit 100,000. Now, I will say when you hit 10,000 and you get the swipe up, that's kind of fun. But other than that, there's nothing special. You don't get the verified mark. There's literally nothing incredible that happens except now you have that number next to your name. So I just wanted to share that with you guys because I think so often we place that follower count so high above on our list of like, I want to grow my followers. I want to hit 1,000 followers, 10,000 followers, 50,000, 100,000 followers, and then I'll be successful. But that's not actually how it works. In fact, I was extremely successful before I hit 100,000. I was successful before I hit 10,000. My business had grown. I had tons of clients behind the chair. My online business, my education business had grown before I hit any of those numbers. So you don't have to have a big number or 100,000 followers to be successful on Instagram. Which leads me into my second lesson that I learned was you don't have to have a certain number to have a successful business. So I kind of just already said that, jumped the gun there, but honestly, it's true. I actually know stylists who have over 100,000 followers that don't really have a successful business. They're constantly posting things like, hey, I have an opening next week, or got a cancellation, or make sure to book with me, I got this special, and yet they have that elusive 100,000 follower mark where we think, oh my gosh, they have to have a successful business just because they have the number. That's not necessarily true. In fact, I know that they're not working with brands. I know that they're not getting these incredible sponsorships just because they have the number. Now, does the number play into certain things? Sometimes, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna be successful just because you have a number next to your name. And in fact, I actually know quite a few stylists who have under 1,000 followers who are wildly successful, that have been getting client after client after client with 200, 300 Instagram followers. In fact, several members of my OHotGram community, we were just talking about this the other day, that your follower count doesn't actually make a difference at all. And like I said, I'll totally do another video diving deeper into this. I don't wanna only talk about this, but at the end of the day, you don't necessarily have to have that huge number, and I don't want you guys to put that on a pedestal, that you can, in fact, have a very successful business just by having 100 followers, 200 followers, 300 followers. And so I hope that that kind of tucks away in your mind that you don't necessarily have to have that huge follower count. And I know I've said that a bunch of times, but I really, really am passionate about sharing that with people, that it's not some magical thing that all of a sudden, poof, now you're successful. And the third lesson that I learned was it takes time. There's so many times that I'm like, oh, I'm gonna hit 50,000, or I'm gonna hit 100, or I'm gonna do this in a couple months, or I have this goal, and it just doesn't happen that way. All of this stuff takes time, and it takes time of learning what works and learning what doesn't work, and learning your particular audience and how you can stand out on Instagram. And it doesn't happen overnight. Again, I just shared with you that this has been 5 years in the making of when I went from 0 to 143,000 Instagram followers. This didn't happen overnight. And I know people that are also still haven't had it happen overnight, have been working on it for 4 or 5 years, and they're still at like 1,500 Instagram followers. But again, they have a successful business. They have clients calling in. They have clients pre-booking. They have an assistant. They're booked out. They are selling retail products. So I want you guys to know that yes, this stuff does take time, but at the end of the day, I don't want you to only focus on growing that follower count, because like I said, it really doesn't matter. Instagram is by far the long game, and it starts with knowing exactly who you're talking to and knowing what they want to see from you. And that's again where I see a lot of my success has come in, that I know who my people are, I know my audience, and I hope that I share things that help and inspire them and add value to their life. And it's not just something where I'm just posting up random stuff hoping that something sticks. I've figured out exactly what works for me and what my audience wants to see. So like I said, if you're wanting to learn a little bit more about that, want to dive deeper into Instagram, and want a step-by-step easy way to do that, check out ohotgram.com, get on the waitlist, because like I said, I'm gonna be hooking you guys up for those of you who are on the waitlist, and we're gonna be opening the doors in just a couple weeks. We only do this a couple times a year, so if you're thinking about it or you're just contemplating it, go sign up for that waitlist. I'm gonna be sending you some emails and just kind of sharing with you a little bit about OHotGram is to see if it's a right fit for you. And last but not least, I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that this was helpful. I hope that this gave you a little bit more of a transparent look into what it really means to hit 100,000 followers on Instagram. Like I said, this is a little vulnerable. I'm sharing some things behind the scenes that I haven't shared anywhere publicly before. And so I really hope that this was helpful and helped you guys understand a little bit more of where I'm coming from, and to see that perspective that 100,000 followers isn't the end-all be-all. Also, if you haven't already, come on over to Instagram and said hi. Please let me know that you watched this video. I'd love to chat with you and just talk with you about this video, and let me know if you liked it, if you didn't, what you thought about it, and I would just really love to hang out and chat with you. So head on over to Instagram, send me a DM, and we can chat there. And also, like I said at the beginning of this video, make sure that you're hitting that subscribe button below because I have lots of videos like this one coming out, and I think that it's really gonna help you. So if, again, you're learning how to use Instagram to grow your business, you're not gonna wanna miss the video that I have for you next week. I'm not gonna share with you exactly what it is just yet, but it's a really good one and you're not gonna wanna miss it. So make sure to come back next week, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.